It's time for Socially Awkward Media with Levack and Goss. Awkward on 104.5 The Team.
Socially Awkward Media. You tweet to us, you write to us, you just interact with us on social media on various platforms, and then we recycle and use it because sometimes it's funnier than the stuff we have. At the Jeff Levack, at Tom Goss, TOMGOZZ, at 104.5 The Team on Twitter, 104.5 The Team on Facebook. And then, anywhere else we happen to notice your nonsense.
Yeah, I'm on Twitter right now. I'm trying to send a nice message to the Terrier Swain, who wrote in, great to hear Goz turn into Harry Carey while describing that entrance.
It did kind of. I was wondering if you wandered a little at one point.
Did I? See, I'm trying
but it was still good.
He may not be a wrestling fan, so I'm trying to send him a clip of Jim Ross, but because the iPhone 10's awful and I just can't hit copy-paste on this, I'm not going to send him the video. Look it up, Mike. Stupid iPhone 10. Anyways, did you go through the whole stuff there at the Jeff Levack? You did all that? You did all the intro?
Yeah, it's a great show. You should listen to it sometime.
Linda leads off Socially Awkward Media. Linda said this. Guys, Sanchez is lazy. He needs to grow up. Maybe send him back to AAA. Aaron Boone needs to manage and not be a pal to these guys. The hashtag AL East is slipping away.
I don't think he can be sent back to AAA anymore unless it's like a rehab start thing. I think if you do that, you designate him for assignment, and there's no way he makes it. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
If you'd have to waive him at some point, I just think he would end up on every. Bottom line, he needs to fire Leonard under his big butt. I agree, but I'm not ready. I'm not ready to get rid of him. Now, you'd have to get something really awesome back if I was going to get rid of Sanchez.
I'll still stick by. He's the second best catcher in baseball that I want to have on my team. Buster Posey's the only one I want to have more so than him. He didn't run it out. It's really easy to get mad about it. Yankee fans should be upset and frustrated because that's something you can control. Athletes at any level of sports can control effort. He didn't have it. We'll talk to Buster only at 5:15. He's indicated, Buster, he was one of the first to have it, that Sanchez is actually injured. But that one felt more like hustle. And the timing of it felt very interesting, to say the least. Jamal, who's been tweeting a lot to us, we appreciate all the content Jamal's been giving us. Jamal kind of feels like a producer some days on the show. Jamal wrote in, guys, what we're talking about earlier involved the New York Knicks. Statements like this make me as a fan feel confident in Perry. Levack, you and I touched on a little bit yesterday that Perry's focus, he said it on ESPN's Get Up show, that he's just focused on this season, and when 2019's free agency rolls around, they'll worry about it then.
Yeah, you look at what he's done since he's taken the job with the Knicks, and it's a calming influence. That I really like the 2 draft picks. He says the right things at the right time. He's not playing mind games with anybody. I think he is the solution, and it makes a lot of sense, and I like where the Knicks are headed.
I can't believe I was at a pause. I'm like, wait, am I saying I like where the New York Knicks are heading and they're doing the right things? That's all true. It's been a really good offseason for the New York Knicks. Now, whether that's going to translate out on the court, whether it means it's going to be more wins and losses remains to be seen, but they're doing the right things. And Perry's been a big part of that. Chip tweeted into the show. Now, credit to Chip. Chip, earlier in the week, called it hours before it happened. He said something along the lines of, guys, I think the Yankees are going to put Gary Sanchez on the 10-day DL and say he got injured to cover him and blah, blah, blah. He nailed it. He nailed everything. Now, Chip has another prediction. He goes, guys, my next hashtag Yankees prediction is this. The Washington Nationals will become the 2016 New York Yankees and sell/trade at the deadline. One of the 3, Bryce Harper, Strasburg, or Scherzer, will be a Yankee. Now, if I'm not mistaken, Strasburg went to the DL today, so that lines it down to Harper or Scherzer. You buying Chip's prediction? You've invited him on the show if he gets it right.
If one of those guys ends up on the Yankees this year, then he gets to come on the show. There's no point in going after Harper. Your problem with your bats right now is want to, not ability to. So you're talking Max Scherzer. That means you're giving up Justice Sheffield and a lot more. But if Max Scherzer's on that team and you have a 1-2 punch of Max Scherzer and Luis Severino with that bullpen, you instantly become the favorite to win the World Series.
I still feel like this, and you've especially said this too. Like, if we had a 9-on-9 baseball game and we had to draw up a lineup and a pitching staff, it still feels like the Nationals are better than the Braves and Phillies. Mm-hmm. I would still take
Sooner
Harper
or later, they just have to get it right?
You would think like mid-August at some point, and I guess Chip looks at this NL East and says, guys, it's a 7-game lead. you got to start giving up at some point that maybe it's not the national season. And they're trailing teams like the Brewers and Diamondbacks even deeper for a wild card spot. Now, a lot of times on Socially Awkward Media, we have a lot of fun. But once in a while, certain people want to leave interesting comments. Let's say, I don't want to say troll, but I guess we'll go with the trolling comments. Paul wrote this in on our Facebook page under an article about the Albany Empire, where we had Malachi Jones.
How come every time I have a conversation with somebody online, you put it in Socially Awkward Media?
That's a part of the show, Levack. You sometimes set it up easy for me. Paul wrote as the first comment on the Facebook article about the Albany Empire Rookie of the Year and Wide Receiver of the Year award, "You guys should have given the Albany Devils some press while they were here. They had higher levels of athletes."
You go ahead.
I'll just leave it there. I'll let you give the commentary of what you did after that.
I wrote back, we aired every game
on this station.
and I take issue with you saying they're a higher level of athlete. And then he wrote something stupid. I don't remember the whole thing. I just remember
it's just so weird.
I just like you guys didn't cover the local hockey team. No, you just didn't go. Like, let's call it what it is. You didn't go, hockey fan. You didn't go to the games. They didn't make any money. As a matter of fact, I heard they lost somewhere in the neighborhood of $1 million a season. And the reason they moved is other markets were willing to take on some of that loss. Dude, you want him to stay? Go to the game. You know why the Empire gets so much attention? Because everybody goes to the game.
Yes.
Everybody loves it.
That's the thing. It's like, hey, this article's getting a lot of traction. Why aren't these articles getting traction about my... Because more people...
Why isn't my full dissertation of War and Peace getting any love today? But everybody's talking about Jimmy Garoppolo dating a porn star. Because one's, it's
One's
more interesting.
Yes.
To a wider scope of people. But like I said, we aired every game. We had players on. There were points where former co-hosts of mine were the stadium announcers. Now, did the Empire do something really smart in hiring you and I to be part of the team? Yes, they did. Do you think that they only hired us because we were good at the job? No, they were smart and they knew that we would feel ownership of the team. But there's never been a single down of Albany Empire football aired on this station. Every play for the Devils was on this station.
We'll move on. William wrote this in, and I feel bad about this one because you and I both like this athlete, so I feel bad I'm even reading this comment. William wrote to our Albany Empire page, "Yeah, the Albany Empire probably would have won the Arena Bowl if they had Wade Hansen playing."
I love Wade.
We both love Wade.
This is so tough. So let me be clear. You believe that a single offensive lineman is the difference between, 14 points or whatever the hell it is, or something like that?
Yeah.
So, okay. All right. Listen, hey, if that's what you believe.
You guys got to let that. We like Wade, man. We like him a lot.
The reason Wade didn't make the team is Wade got hurt towards the end of the process.
And as you just said, he's an offensive lineman. He's not scoring touchdowns.
Well, I mean, but it's not like they had a good offensive lineman. Oh, wait, they had the offensive lineman of the year in the AFL. If Wade tries that again, Wade makes the team, I think.
Look, Wade Hansen and C.J. Tarver people, relax, okay?
That's a different conversation.
My goodness, the C.J. Tarver people are going nuts about NFL Network, okay? Keep the C.J. Tarver tweets down. We don't need him again like we did earlier in the season.
I feel bad for C.J. Tarver.
I do too.
Because you know who's never complained about not being on the team as far as I know?
C.J. Tarver.
Right.
Marcus wrote this in. Levack, it's okay. We accept the fact that you hate us on Twitter. Hell, I'm only on Twitter because of you guys in the show.
Twitter, I don't hate anyone.
Not even you, Marcus.
No, I actually like Marcus a lot. Marcus has written some funny stuff over the time. I hate everyone on Instagram and Facebook because the only reason I'm on those ones is to make sure that my kid's behaving for the most part. And Facebook has now become to annoy other people.
Two separate coworkers today have walked up to you and complained about your Facebook etiquette.
Yeah. And don't go try to friend me on Facebook. If I don't know you, I'm not going to. Like, you probably want to message me on how I know you before you send me a friend request. Because I don't, that's just there now for my family. Like, Twitter is where it's at for this job. It's easier. More of you are on it. We go back and forth. I would get rid of Facebook tomorrow if I could. Earlier in the week, random strangers were leaving Levack questions and comments, getting compliments because they wanted compliments from Levack. I had this moment of stupidity where I thought it would be nice. Because, I'm the first one to always complain and say that, like, social media, we're all mean to each other. So I saw this thing a friend of mine put up where it's like, hey, say something, put your name and I'll say something nice about you. So I tried to do it. And I was like 150 in. But there was like people that know they don't know me. They know they don't know me. How can I say something nice about you when I don't know you? Like, I was literally like if Gaz had put Gaz down, I would have been like,
I don't want your compliments. I don't want them, Levack.
I would have thought about it. I would have come up with something nice, about you're a family man now, and
oh, thank you.
And as far as co-hosts go, you don't suck, whatever.
Right, nice.
But it would have been about you directly, and that's what I did for every one of the 150 people I did. For the 7 or 8 people who thought it'd be funny that knowing that I don't know you, or people I haven't seen in 30 years. Yeah, I'm going back to like people I haven't seen since I was 11. I was just like, yeah, you know what? I hate you all.
I got 2 more for you here on Socially Awkward Media. This one involves our night at Nonola. Tuesday night, you were hosting trivia at Nonola Sports Trivia.
Love Nonola.
And you used a friend of the show, former New York Giant tight end Derek Brown, as a trivia question.
I figured if you listen to the show a lot, it would give you I was trying to give an unfair advantage to people who came out just because they listened to the show.
And our pal Derek Brown tweeted to us, and he wrote, triple crying laughy emoji face. Anybody know the answer?
All right, because I did. What year was Derek Brown? What position was he drafted for the Giants?
Now, my favorite part of the whole thing was people below.
I didn't know now.
No, the best part was people below trying to guess and tell Derek Brown when he was drafted. People were like, I think it's 15th. No, I'm pretty sure it's 16th. DB, you were drafted 16th. Guys, he knows when he was drafted. You don't have to tell him. And then he's sitting there arguing with people on
14th,
Twitter.
by the way.
Yeah, 14th. Johnny Mitchell went here. This guy went. People are trying to tell or argue DB when he got drafted.
And the reason I did it is like almost every time he's been on the show, that's how I introduce him. 14th overall pick, in the draft for the whatever.
Don't ask Twitter because they'll give you different answers and try to tell DB.
Fight with the guy who did it. I don't know, man.
The last one.
God, I hate socially awkward.
The last one here, our winner of Socially Awkward Media, the best tweet, Facebook post, email we got of the week comes from a Social Awkward Media legend, Bocce. Bocce wrote into the show, quote, there, and there is spelled Their, the wrong version of there. Bocce wrote in, there is so much porn on my phone. Good for Jimmy Garoppolo.
That's my favorite tweet ever. That is my favorite. That is when you're using Twitter right. That is because remember I had said on the air, I was like, I guarantee the porn doesn't have the same stigma it once did, because everybody admits to the utilization of it in some way, shape, or form. And anyone who doesn't, there's 2 kinds of people in the world: people who admit to using porn and liars. Is that that's the
yes?
Yeah.
And you had said if someone grabs your phone right now, I bet most people would have it on their phone. And then Bocce just owned it and said there was so much porn on my phone.
Respect.
Thank you, Bocce, for letting everyone in the capital region know.
Respect. What do you think Bocce's into?
I don't want to go there.
There'll be a tweet coming soon.
Okay. At the Jeff Levack, we'd love to find out what you think it is. Levack at Tom Gonz, TOMGOZZ, at 1045 the team, and Facebook.com/1045 the team.
Oh God, I hate my life. The Knicks, we were just talking about how smooth everything is. Did a current Knick throw shade at a former Knick? Next.